Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, Today we are present about our paper or our research. The topic is the readiness of sustainability of the learning system, learning in Indonesia. My friend is Faujia Umasugi, and my partner Sudarto M.Abukasim. We are from Faculty of Education, Muhammadiyah University of North Maluku. And the content of the research is the first. We want to tell about the introductions, literature review, research method, result of research and discussion, and the last is conclusion. For the introduction here, we can get about the education in Indonesia gets the full attention of the government as evidenced by the fact that it stated in 1945 Constitution in Article 31, which consists paragraphs namely, we want every citizen has the right to education. 2. Every citizen is obligated to follow basic education, and the government is obligated to finance it. The government shall endeavor and implement a national education system which increases faith and peace as well as noble morals in the context of the intellectual life of the nation, which is regulated by law. Or the state prioritizes this education budget. At least 20% of the regional budget and expenditure income to meet the needs of the provisions of the national education. And 5, the government advance science and technology by upholding religious values and the national unit for the advancement of civilization and the welfare of mankind. And it is the continue of the introductions. We talk about the carry out of the mandate of the 1945 Constitution. The government issue law number 20 of 2013 concerned the national education system. With the considerations, the national education system must be able to ensure equitable education, opportunity, quality improvement, and the relevance and efficiency of education. Management to face challenge in accordance with the problems of change local, national, and global life. The applications of education in Indonesia has been implemented through direct learning by way of face-to-face teachers and students in class based on the applicable curriculum. Currently, the curriculum that is being implemented is the 2013 curriculum, known as Key 13. It's the continue of the introduction itself. The case of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was officially released in March 2000, the man's policy changed to support the spread of the virus by means of psychology, access, and maintaining distance, including policy in the field of education. Ministry of Education and Culture officially calls on the learning from home by its two curricular letters, namely curricular number 2 of 22 concerning prevention and handling of COVID-19 in the Ministry of Education and Culture, and the curricular number 3 of 22 concerning prevention of COVID-19 in education unit. The learn from home policy for all levels of education, from elementary school, middle school to university, is a new thing, so that there is a lot of unpreparedness in its implementation, such as technology failure and difficulty understanding the material presented online. Especially for the elementary school, for the elementary school level, so it still requires assistance from the people. Parents, educators are still skilled and experienced in packing and delivering a learning material. And the last of the introduction, the learning system that is currently carried out online or now as the learning. Learning refers to the use of information and communication technology by access to online learning. Online learning atau learning resource according to Erkorful and Abaido 2015. Estimate that the professions of the COVID-19 pandemic is still taking a very time. So distance learning will still be carried out on an ongoing basis. This requires the interaction of government and school management in preparing appropriate online learning so that it can be applied in the long term. The study aims to analyze learn with a learning system that can be applied in Indonesia so that education in Indonesia still meets the criteria aimed the COVID-19 pandemic. Two, literature review. In the literature review, we gave the explanation about the according to Gross and Penalfo, learning has become increasingly important model of the learning and occur in recent decade and has been recognized as an efficient, effective learning method. Log and Gross 2020. Learning refers to the information and communication technology to allow access online learning, processing resource, using digital tools for the teaching and the learning that allows students to learn anytime and anywhere, according to Erkorful and Abaido 2015. Learning facilitate and enhance learning based on the computer and communication technology. Learning means sharing knowledge using technology, computer as well as network supported, and knowledge transfer skill, Kumar 2013. Learning is the use of internet technology to improve knowledge and performance. Oleh Oludare Jetro et al. 2012. And the development of learning has started a long time ago. The computer assisted learning has been around since 1960, based Porani 2016. The term learning is also starting to get attention with the increasing popularity on the handheld device and internet support. E-learning has increased so that access to information is only one click away. Today, the learning process has come a long way from the era of instructor-led training to the era of being held in hand Guragain 2016. Learning with handheld device is also called learning using personal digital assistants, smartphone, and cell phone, while learning generally uses a computer or laptops, according to Kumar 2013. And the benefit of the learning system are also very much environmentally friendly and pollution reduction. Interactive Kumar 2013. Students receive information together and communication directly students, for example, through teleconferencing, audio, video, or access internet, or access internet chat forum instant message, according to Oluder Jetro et al. 2012. Flexible and providing the latest information and material. Ramawati 2016, Buragain 2016, Erkorful and Ubaido 2015. Providing rich and unlimited research, encourage reading, and help active students to be more active, Rahmawati 2016, as well as being cost-effective. Paper costs, infrastructure costs, electricity costs, training costs, stationery costs, travel costs, food costs at Goya 2012, Kuragain 2016, Nguyen 2015, and Somayeh et al. 2016. Literature review, and the last of the literature review, challenges also need attention in the learning, such as falling and boring multimedia due to lack of interactive and supply due to passive and unstructured presenting instructional content, less than networks and the internet, decreases social interaction and communication. According to Ramawati 2016, slow internet access or connection, lack of real or direct teacher feedback, the possibility of the plagiarism and cheating. Ramawati 2016. Participant for the students with the need. And the research of the method. And the research of the method, we make the research is the type of the qualitative research with a descriptive approach or descriptive qualitative, namely research that describe a condition even regarding learning with the learning system during the COVID-19 pandemic. The data collection technique is carried out by studying literature, including research journal, policy, and regulation related to online learning, which are officially released by the Ministry of Education through the website kemendikbud.go.id during the COVID-19 pandemic, and the reality in the file through the website Valid News. Data from various sources were then analyzed by Miles and Habermas, analyzed with include data reduction, data presentation, and conclusion or the verification. The first, data reduction. In the data reduction means sorting and selecting basic data in accordance with the true objective in obtaining research result. For example, not all of the contents of this research is important to be included in the report. Therefore, data reduction needs to be done to provide data limits that need to be analyzed. 2. Presentation of the data. Data presentation is a step to interpret the data that has been obtained according to the data selective during the data reduction process. The presentation of the data in qualitative research is in the form of a narrative which generally consists of the elaboration of the research result and discussion related to the theory. And the 3, draw conclusion. And the draw conclusions, in the conclusion in qualitative research are new findings that have never existed before. This finding is the new answer to the research objective. In the study, the conclusion can be answered about the readiness and sustainability of the learning system in Indonesia. Result of research and discussion. And the result of research and discussion, online learning in Indonesia still not ready to be implemented. This shown by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government is still busy formulation various policy to support the implementation of distant learning. And the first step of the Ministry of Education and Culture is to officially appeal to learn from home by two curricular letters, namely number 2 of 2020 concerning preventing and handling of COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry of Education and the Culture in curricular number 3 2020 concerning prevention of COVID-19 education unit. 2. The next step is to adjust to the finding of both funds which were originally allocated for conventional teaching and the learning. It means that face-to-face teacher and students directly. Then the first for online learning by revising the regulation of the Minister of Education and the Culture, Permendikbud number 8 of 2020, concerning regular both guidelines by imposing Permendikbud number 19 of 2020, concerning amendments of 2 Permendikbud number 8 of 2020 concerning regular both technical guidelines and Permendikbud number 2020 of 2020. Change to the technical guidelines to work out an equality education. In addition to policy, the Ministry of Education also facilitates learning by providing several portals used for online learning, including the website www.belajarkemendikbud.go.id, education radio, application, and education TV, and the learning from home through TVRI broadcast, which has been scheduled. And the fact these steps have not been able to support online learning. This due to factors outside the government that do not support online learning. Readiness of the hostile experience in implementing online learning include one, the internet network signal cannot reach in some areas, so that some students cannot participate in online learning. 2. Most of the parents whose economic condition are inadequate or even lacking are unable to provide smartphone as a means of online learning for their children. And the 3, some teachers are forced to innovate by adapting learning material, broadcast on the state-owned television and distribution them directly to students. And the 4, the learning process that takes place from home, like it or not, requires direct supervision from the parents. Even though at the same time parents also have to divide their time to work, take care of the house, as well as help children the learning. According to Highlight Online Learning has constrained 2020. And the last of the result of the research and discussion from a survey via Google conducted by public policy expert at Gajah Mada University, Yogyakarta, Agustinus Subarsono, the most important hostile issue internet network. This research was conducted in 1.304 respondents include teachers, students, and the parents at the junior and senior high school level in district in Yogyakarta. As a result, more than 50% of respondents complain about the internet network, especially in the Kulon Progo and Gunung Kidul areas. Another obstacles in the ability and the skill of parents in assisting children, especially in the use of information and communication technology. In addition, it was found that online learning was more difficult than conventional learning. Even material for online learning was more difficult than face-to-face learning. Obstacles many face in online learning network 2020. Currently, the government has issued policy to provide free quota for the students and educators for early childhood education, primary and secondary education, well as lectures and the student internet data quota assistance 2020. However, this is not an absolute solution in overcoming problem in online learning because without the support of instructors such as laptop or smartphone and a strong network, online learning still has the problem. In addition, the educational curriculum for online learning needs to be formulated because the achievement indicator for face-to-face and online can be different, including evaluation of students' ability from learning outcomes. Based on the various conditions that occur in the field online learning, Indonesia is still appropriate for the middle level, especially high school students and the students. This because it does not require full parental assistance and can use information technology for online learning for early childhood education and basic education is necessary to have policy and technical instruction from the Ministry of Education and the Culture so that students can achieve their education goals. The last is the conclusion. We are continue to my partner.
Thank you. The next presentation. Based on the result of the description above, online learning in Indonesia is not full paper. Science and learning for home was rolled out to that 3 or still of tonight going on in school, especially internet network and skill in the as information and communication technology to support online learning. Online learning can be evaluated continuously so that can support the continuity of education in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, that is our vision for our research for today. Thank you for your participation and attention. Goodbye and see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.